Welcome everyone to an NGS Div E match between Freedonia and Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Today I'm lucky to be joined by Broomboy, who will be co-hosting with us today. Welcome, Broomboy.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Not bad at all. We are ready and excited to see these two teams square off. Today we are going to be starting off on Hanamura Temple. This was picked up by Freedonia. They decided to go with first pick. So let's hopefully, there we go, updated there. So we are about ready in. It looks like both teams are ready, and we're just going to go right in to the draft. What are you looking for on Hanamura Temple here, Broomboy?
I think primarily there's two schools of thoughts. Number one, camp clear's got to be the most important thing on this map. The camps give an incredible amount of experience, and the samurai camp I've heard been described as boss as of recent on Nexus Edge, just because of how impactful it is. Also, really heavy push comms work great here.
Nice. I'm hoping for a lot of fighting around those vision camps right at the beginning, because they do give the most amount of XP. I'm hoping that we do see a little bit of explosive fighting between the two teams right at the beginning, and making sure they get those, as you said, boss camps up as soon as they're up, because they can actually do more push and more damage than the actual objective in the early game. It'll be interesting to see what kind of draft they're going to be picking up here. As you can see here, Phoenix Rising Amethyst do have first pick, as Freedonia did have map pick. So they're going to go ahead and ban out Johanna. What do you think about that? I think that's a pretty good ban. It's an easy tank, or a solid tank, because even after her nerfs, eh?
Yeah, I'd say she gives really good point control. She's hard to move off the objective. I still think she's now pretty prone to CC, but with the changes to Gladiator's Medallion, I've even started picking her up more and more now. So I think it's a solid ban for sure.
Freedonia matching that ban with a Tassadar ban. Interesting first ban, as you'd more likely see other characters being banned out here. More tanks, especially Diablo. Diablo's been seeing a lot more play lately, and we know that Spockeye does play Diablo. So interesting ban, could be targeted, could be maybe they're worried about fighting over objectives and clumping up for the Tassadar damage.
Yeah, Task, I think, is just all around in a great spot right now. He's provides a ton of wave clear. The damage can be insane. You can't go wrong with taking him out. I think he's on the upper echelon of the mages for sure. But we see Li Ming taking it as well. She can be a real pain in the ass to fight over the point.
Oh, 100%. Then I'm surprised that Chromie's made it through. We were just talking about mages that are difficult to deal with, especially with Chromie and the Gladiator's Medallion, because that used to be her biggest weakness, was just dive her, get some CC on her, she can't do anything. Now that she has Gladiator's Medallion, she might be able to get away. But we do see that Freedonia has responded with the Li Ming ban to a Brightwing ban, so that could be very targeted. And then it looks like Sparhawk has picked up Kale Thos as his first hero.
Yeah, I think Kael'thas, for a long time, people thought, this is a mage that's only good if you're bad, but I think he's just all around good. He comes with his own CC, and those chain bombs can really be a pain in the ass.
Right? Now, my question to you is Convection, or are you going to go with the Mana Addict?
Let's just make a public service announcement right now. Like, please don't go Convection in the future. The flat 100 damage boost is just not worth it, especially on an immobile mage. So, for anyone watching, please never Convection.
I like that. That's a very sound advice. I believe that there has been a couple of people that say if you go Convection, you're just trolling, so stop it.
Might have been me.
All right. So we do see that Anduin and ETC have been picked up, a very good combo. You do see a lot of slide and roots behind that. And then the Anubrak and Rhaegar. Anubrak is more of a diving hero. to go back on the back line. So we'll see what kind of backline they do to pick up to counter that. And then Rhaegar, always a solid healer, a little aggressive, but always puts out some solid numbers and has some 2 very good ults depending on what you draft.
Really interesting to see the Deathwing ban come out here. I'm not really sure what the meta is like to be, but he does bring that global presence, so he can be soaking lanes and then come and join the fight. He isn't susceptible to the CC that they have set up right now, which is great. I'm also really curious to see the noob picked up so early, but that might be a comfort pick.
Very well could be. And we see a Greymane and Thrall. Thrall very solid in the solo lane. Greymane can make Anub'arak's life a little bit more difficult because of the damage they can put up very, very quickly. And it's not really spell damage, so it does make it an interesting pick. Let's see what kind of offlane that that Phoenix Rising is going to be picking up. Maybe something a little bit more chunky. And we do see it. We do see a Sonya. Perfect.
That's a good pick. She's great to get out the Thrall roots. Great on camps. All-round solid hero. You can't go wrong with her, I think.
Oh yeah, she's definitely going to be very key on getting camps as well, as you mentioned. We might see like a Kael'thas rotate up to cover lane while she goes and takes as many camps as possible. And we're going to finish off the draft with Orphea.
Yeah, definitely. I know on our team, we hold her in high esteem. She can be one of those mages where you can kind of 1v5 almost in some situations. What's kind of worrisome is this CC train they potentially could lobby on her if she gets out of position, so that would be something to watch.
Well, let's have a look at that when we go right into the game.
We're passing it back and forth pretty well.
Yeah, we are definitely indeed. Looks like the teams are still loading in. Let's see who's running the potato. It's looking like Simp Slayer. Probably needs to plug in another potato to get a little bit more juice to get into the game. But it will be interesting to see. Perhaps he has a little bit of ping issue. We might get to see that, especially with, as you were mentioning, the CC train. He's the one that's to follow up with that, so it'd be interesting to see if he's gonna go for the throat or perhaps even the cursed bullet. With the Sonya and Anub'arak, I would like to see a cursed bullet come out of him, especially if you get that lockdown that you're mentioning with the ETC slide, the the ETC slide, the Anduin route, and the Thrall route. You just basically have a sitting target there for almost 2-3 seconds that you just line up a shot.
Yeah, I mean, both sides have a good amount of CC for sure. Right now, we're having the potato races. Who's got the sweet potato? Who's got the Idaho gold? Let's find out.
I like it. Wow. Yeah. So, I'm looking to see which team is going to go ahead and take the objective first, and how they're going to move. But we're into the game now, and we are going to go ahead and. There we go. We're going to go ahead and introduce Freedonia here. So it's going to be Simp Slayer on the Greymane. We have Draven on Anduin. Xenozak on Duke. Xenozak on ETC, Duke on Orphea, and then Dark on Thrall.
And perfect. We have Gunslinger on Anub. We have Yahtzee on Vala. Johnny the Clown on Rhaegar. Spearhawk. Or Sparhawk, excuse me, on that Kael'thas, and Bloody Drapes on Sonya.
Excellent. So we're going to go here and meet up in the middle, see who's going to get what stacks. Let's have a look at the level 1 talents here. We do have Renew on Anduin. We have Viciousness on the Greymane. Little Engage here onto the Anub'arak. We do have Prog Rock on the ETC, and Thrall has picked up Rolling Thunder. And over
Yeah,
on... Sorry, go for it.
I'm really happy we're seeing the Mana Addict out here. We don't have to, get angry this early in the cast.
Exactly, that's perfect, yes. As you mentioned, we have Mana Addict on the Kael'thas. We do have the Regeneration Master, something you don't very much see on Anub'arak, as it does require a little bit of globe static value out of it, but on this map you do get a lot of camps, therefore globes. You can already see here that the Kael'thas is already taking the first camp, so that's good. So a lot of priority there. And we have Electric Charge on Rhaegar. We have Tough as Nails on the Sonya. And then Vala, we're going with Caltrops.
Yeah, the Caltrops is interesting. I've seen it pop up a bit more. I know it was popularized by the Korean players. It's interesting. I want to see how much value you can get out of that.
Excellent. Now you can see here, we do have Kael'thas going down to the bottom lane to get that soak, while the rest of the team immediately goes onto the Samurai camp. The Freedonia is going to be a little bit behind, but they are going to be picking up it as well. It'll be interesting to see how are they going to respond, how's Sonya going to be able to push with that, how's Thrall going to be able to deal with it pushing against. And Kael'thas is still here getting that soak. Oh, is he going to be caught out? Looks like the ETC slide. And the Anub'arak coming in to save him. Well done. A little late on his Gladiator's Medallion, but he's still able to use that. Better use that and then live and then not use it and die, so not bad at all.
Absolutely.
Looks like
it's actually getting some really great push up top.
Yes, excellent. Greymane is coming to try to ward her way, and he does. But whilst that's happening, we do see that the boss is getting free value. Gets the wall and the tower, so not bad. Whereas Freedonia's is still being cleared up, but hasn't even reached the wall yet. Excellent. We do see the objective coming up in 2 seconds. Freedonia is immediately jumping right onto it to try to get it pushing in the right direction. We do see Rhaegar going all the way back to get his full health and mana. So just a stalling out here in the middle part right now, waiting for the teams to slowly get a little bit more XP. We do see some
rotation.
Rotation going up top. Is he going to get Thrall? No. Thrall barely makes it out. ETC coming up with the slide. That is all the damage onto the Vala. Vala getting taken out. First kill going over to Freedonia and giving them level 6 to level 5. Are they going to try to stick around here to stall it out? Looks like Phoenix Rising is trying to. The Anub'arak might be going down as well, and he loses his turret. Always important to drop those turrets. If you're about to die, you don't want to lose it and give it over to the enemy team, thus giving them a better position in the next objective or the next team fight.
You don't use it, you lose it, as they say.
Exactly. We do see Vala coming down here to get that soak in the bottom lane as Freedonia goes ahead and captures the Vision camp and their turret camp. And we do see the Kael'thas and the Rhaegar taking out or taking their support camp or fortification camp right now to try to have at least one turret to the enemy's team's 2 for at least the next objective or next team fight.
It's been interesting to see the priority placed on different camps by each team. Seems like our team on the right seems to put a bit more heavy emphasis on the turrets, where more vision emphasis has been placed by Freedonia.
Excellent. Well, they did while this was going on. While we were looking at the fight going down here in the towers, the Rhaegar and the Kael'thas were able to take down the Vision camp once again. The ETC coming in for a slide onto that Vala. The Ind was able to follow it up, but the Rhaegar was able to heal him up and get him out. And Kael'thas has now rejoined and might be able to put down a little bit of damage. And we do see that Phoenix Rising did use their fortification camp, so they're not going to have that for the next objective. And the Vision camp was taken right back. That is almost a full level lead for Freedonia now. And we do see the Sonya already going on to the boss camp, getting that out immediately. And we do see that the Freedonia is matching in kind. Boss camp getting taken and is going to be pushing top lane, while the remaining members of Phoenix Rising is going to be taking back that vision. Desperately want to get level 10 before the next objective, as I do believe Freedonia is going to get there very, very shortly.
Now, do you think Orphea goes for the Eternal Feast here with that Mosh setup, or do you think we see something totally different?
I'm going to go with the Internal Feast. I do believe that they're going to get a lot of value of that, because the ETC's slides have been on point so far. I've been getting them 2 or 3 slides, or 2-3-man slides, and we'll be able to get that damage. We do see the Go for the Throat by Greymane, as I was mentioning at the draft. I was thinking of the Curse of Bolt might be good, but definitely goes with the Go for the Throat, so might be trying to get that reset onto the Vala especially.
Yeah, they do have some squishy backline for sure if you can get on them. And honestly, even the Anub doesn't have the highest health pool. Great Mosh here, actually, and it is a feast.
And yeah, so there's the Eternal Feast. We do see the Mosh zoning out the rest of the team. We did see the Anduin pull onto the Orphea, but Orphea was still taken out. So that was a level 10 to level 9 fight, and Phoenix Rising was able to win that.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for sure. They're going to get their 10s now, and they'll have them all up for this next objective fight.
Looks like we do have Reign of Vengeance, Wrath of Berserker. We do see Phoenix, and we're still waiting on the Nubrek and the Rhaegar pick. I would be expecting an Ancestral and Cocoon. There's the Cocoon. And Rhaegar still waiting, still holding off, trying to see what he was looking at, trying to see what he wants to pick up. And we do see Sonya going right in there. That is the Anduin getting locked down. And the Eternal Feast coming out. Everyone's backing away a little bit. Well done by the Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Are they going to be able to make it out?
Yeah.
Oh, tried to juke, but is Orphea gonna be popping off here? No. Eventually, the Sonya does taken out with the help of Vala. Well done by both teams there. I thought that was going to be a clear victory for Phoenix Rising. However, the Orphea was able to get a couple kills off, thus evening out a little bit. And just like that, the XP is almost dead even.
Yeah, she's one of those heroes, like I said. In the right hands, she can really pop off. You saw it there, just a mobility and the level of burst and sustained healing. She can be really, really spooky if you don't focus her down.
Yes, and as you did mention, we do see a Bloodlust coming out from the Rhaegar. So that will definitely help out the Sonya and the Vala mostly. Basically, that's about it. However, with the Sonya Bloodlust with Wrath, that is going to be a lot of damage. She's going to be very hard to kill.
Yep, not to mention all the additional move speed and better positioning it gives you. It did get nerfed, but it still can get the job done, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, Spock barely makes it out of there. Yeah, it was 100% calculated. We do see the division camps are taken by Freedonia. Freedonia is starting to get a slight XP lead once again because they're taking those vision camps. We do see that the boss is pushing top lane and Greymane's there to help him out. We do see now Phoenix Rising Amethyst going to take their vision back to try to even up that XP. Are they looking for a fight here? Well, they do see 2 top. It would be a 4v3, but instead they're going to gank top lane to see if they can't get the 2 kills here. Looks like the pings have been called out onto the Thrall. Thrall is taken out. Well done. Good ping, good follow-up by the Phoenix Rising. And now they're going to go ahead and push down the top lane. We do see the rest of the team coming in. The Cocoon is out on Orphea. They don't want to deal with that shenanigans once again. And that is a huge mosh. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-man mosh. And that is 4 down now. Are we going to see the Anduin go down, or sorry, the Nubrek go down as well? One more auto attack from the Greymane. There it is. That is a 5-man team wipe. Well done. Wow. That ETC mosh to the Anduin stun. Anduin stun was a little bit early. However, did give him shields to keep him alive anyway, so I like that move right there.
Honestly, as a tank player, those are the type of engages you dream about. You don't often get 5-mans, but when you do, good things happen.
Exactly, and well done by the Orphea to follow up with the Eternal Feast immediately, and the rest of the team to follow up as well. Good communication. Clearly, they've been practicing with the ETC. Might be something that Phoenix Rising might want to ban out next game.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with both teams, honestly, not layering their stuns on top of one another. They're doing a good job of spacing at the CC combos, and it's just showing whoever gets the better engage right now is coming away the winner.
I would like to see Phoenix Rising engage a little bit harder here because Freedonia is about to hit level 16. So they should want to try to engage here, and we do see the Sonya going in on that. However, level 16 has been achieved. It is the ETC is now cocooned, so they might be able to get a pick here onto the Orphea. Orphea is backing away. She's barely going to make it out. The Anduin is going in with a 2-man stun, and that is the Orphea coming back in for a kill onto the Vala. And the Sonya's about to go down. Perhaps might make it out. We'll see. Nope, does not quite make it out. Drop your turret there. There he does. Well done. And while all that was going on, we did see the Rhaegar being taken out by the Greymane.
Kael'thas just got away. Unfortunately, he was left a bit behind there, picking up the turret on that initial engage, so didn't have all their horses, but let's see if they can stabilize and get back on the same talent here.
Dark taking a little bit of damage there from the boss there, and the Kael'thas throwing out the Phoenix just to try to get a little bit of damage, see if they can't take advantage. We do see that it's 2 forts to none right now for Freedonia, so they're going to have a little bit of map control. While Phoenix Rising is clearing this up, we do see Thrall and Orphea still getting all that necessary soak, and the race to 20 is on.
Love to see this pick actually top. Try and equalize it.
Yep. Are we going to see an epic spear? There it is. Are we going to see the follow-up? Almost. Is he going to make it out? Because if he does, that is a lot of wasted time. And he does. A little bit off there.
Looking out at the camp as well. So
yep.
This is dangerous.
All right. Are they going to be able to regroup? They are desperately trying to still get their 16s before they try to full-on engage here. We do see that shield now being done by Kael'thas, giving a little bit more survivability if he gets dove on. Down here in the bottom lane, we do see the boss pushing in. We do see now Kael'thas and the rest of Phoenix Rising responding to it, so it won't get that much value. And good job, good heads-up play, knowing that they had to walk away and still clear this out. Phoenix being used to try to clear it out a little bit faster. Will be down for the next engage if the camp comes up very shortly. Still desperately trying to get level 16. And Freedonia pushing in top lane, maybe getting a little bit of damage onto the top keep. Looks like the Freedonia is going to be putting in that damage. However, Phoenix Rising is coming in, going in for a flank. They need to get out of there, or else they're going to start taking the damage from the keep. But that is an immediately cocooned ETC to try to get rid of that mosh pit. However, Sonya did stick around in the Eternal Feast a little bit too long. Rhaegar might be taken out, but manages to live. Vala taking out the Thrall, and at the bottom of the screen you did see that the Greymane took out the Nubrak once again, and the Phoenix is out to defend this keep. Overall, that is a 2-1 victory for Freedonia, and they are at level 19 to level 16. Are they going to go ahead and take this samurai camp once again?
Looks that way. And it's really going to be hard to get them off without any front line.
Yes, it is. It looks like, though, they are taking a little bit of damage from that spreading of the bomb by Kael'thas, and they did have the samurai camp or the sentinel camp hitting them in the back. But Looks like Phoenix Rising took the more safe approach, let them take it, and will clear this up for free while they're desperately trying to get to level 17. I really think that they should be pushing in onto this objective right now. This will be the last fight they have before level 20, and they are 2 levels back, so they won't be able to nail the gauge for a very long time.
I think you're gonna get your wish, and without Thrall here, we'll see if they can make something happen.
Excellent. Looks like they're just pushing in. We do see Anduin and the rest of the team going and taking their Sentinel camp, and Phoenix Rising is going to go ahead and take Vision, or maybe take Vision. No, there we go. They're taking Vision to try to get them a little bit more, but they do need to back away. They need to give this up to Freedonia. They are going to have to give up keep here and just try to soak wherever they can to get to level 20. They do have catapult pressure in the bottom lane too.
Yeah. The nice thing about having your forts down is that the waves are going to crash into you, make soaking a little safer, but definitely need to make a priority of clearing out this samurai.
Yep. Looks like Freedonia is, foaming at the mouth at this Sonya here. She is pushed up a little bit. You saw the ETC looking up several times, see if he can't go and get a pick on her. However, not going to. The Phoenix is out there just to stall a little bit, get a little bit of damage, but they do give up the objective, and it's going to be shooting down the bottom lane. As far as their stats here, no surprise, we do have Orpheus topping the hero damage charts at 47,000 damage, thanks to the setup by the ETC Mosh. Over on to the Phoenix Rising, we do see the Kale Thos at 34,000 damage, so about 13,000 damage behind, almost 14,000. As far as XP soak, we do see 21,000 by Sonya, if it does come up.
11,000, I think.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, thank you. 11,000. Looks like Orphea has completed her E-quest. I don't really play Orphea all that much, so I'm not sure if that's the standard. But the ETC going down by the Kael'thas, he went to slide in and get a good mosh. However, the Anduin tried to pull him up before the Kael'thas was able to get that damage on. Vala was taken out by that Orphea. That the extra range, the extra mobility, really hurting.
Ooh, fantastic light bomb.
Nice light bomb, but looks like Kael'thas was still able to take out the Anduin. Now we have the Orphea just dipping, dodging, killing this Sonya. Now going after the... Oh, that was a big flame strike. And no... Did not drop the turret. Now we have Kael'thas being chased down by the Thrall. Thrall being taken out. Amazing. That was a pre-20 fight by Phoenix Rising. This is twice now where they fought down 10s, down 20s, and still come out the victory.
Yeah, it's honestly probably a less than 10% chance of victory in these fights. And they're pulling it off. Alright,
so for level 20, we do see the upgraded Earthquake by the Thrall. We do see Glyph of Faith, Eldrick's Conduit by Orphea, and the Unleash by Greymane, and then Tour Bus by the ETC. Over on to Phoenix Rising, we do see the Flamethrower, Rewind, Gladiator's War Stout, Iron Pain, and then Farlight Quiver.
Really curious choice of these catapults being left alone were able to do massive damage to the core.
Yeah, that is 69% giggity taken out by just those catapults being left, and they went to go for invade and lost the invade as well. That ETC was able to harass and push them off. So they lost 69% on their core, and they lost the boss that they're trying to steal away. So basically a lose-lose situation there by Phoenix Rising. However, they are going to have another attempt to fight for this objective and hopefully push out one of these lanes. We did see that the top fort was taken out by their Sentinel camp, but they still have the bottom fort to take care of before they can even think about going on to a keep with this objective.
A Viper, what we've seen is when they're in bad positions, they tend to do the best. So let's see what they can do now.
Right. We do see Vala a little bit separated from the rest of the team. However, Freedonia just regrouping here, trying to get a better engage. You do see the ETC up at the top, trying to get that mosh pit that he got earlier, that 5-man mosh. Both teams just kind of playing back and forth. This really does favor Freedonia though, but the Orphea stepped outside a little bit, and the Nubrak decided to go in. The rest of the team followed up and was able to get that kill.
That's massive. She's been a real thorn in their side so far.
Oh, but that is the Vala being taken out. The Phoenix, or the Kael'thas, trying to get that kill onto the Greymane, not quite able to. Sonya also trying to get a kill or two, was not able to. It's a 1-4-1 right now. The objective is being pushed in, and that is the ETC being taken out. I don't even think I see the mosh pit used there. However,
I think it was burnt on the camp earlier, but they do have those catapults.
those catapults are pushing in. It is a 22-minute catapult, so they do have to deal with those right away. And there you do see the the Nubrak and the Rhaegar going to deal with that. However, Freedonia does see that there's 2 back at core, so they did have a quick peek into the Sentinel camp and decide to back away and take their own. We do see 2 catapults pushing in the top lane as well, so they are going to deal with that before they get any more keep damage. And you just see Rhaegar going ahead and taking that out.
What did I tell you though? Phoenix Rising seems to do best when they're in the worst positions, and it was true again of that team fight.
It's very interesting. Like, seems like when they're down, their communications are on point, and they're able to follow up and get that instant kill on that Orphea. That was very, very impressive. Kael'thas down here in the bottom lane, clearing up that 1 wave. Looks like they're going to try to get this fortification camp and clean up the Sentinel camp all at the same time. Kind of a split, but Freedonia doesn't see or doesn't want to capitalize on that. They're just going to go ahead and push down this keep for free.
Looks like they've left the turret just because Sonya had one. I'd love to see someone pick that up.
Does look like the Kael'thas is going back to pick it up. But because of this, they did lose out onto their top keep. So that's now both lanes, absolute pressure. Next objective does win it for Freedonia. It is an uphill battle for Phoenix Rising because they're going to have to win a couple objectives in a team fight just to be able to put any kind of core pressure on.
It'll be tight, yeah. With these waves crashing in, they need to leave some of the lane pressure. But it looks like they're just going to go for the full-on engage, which is another strategy for sure.
Yep, looks like they are going back for the Vision camp. Oh, look at the ETC going in, trying to get that big mosh. We do see the Nubrak going ahead and getting that interrupt. 2 kills right away. Vala picking up a kill on the Thrall. It's the Greymane picking up a kill onto the Sonya. And we do see the lone Vala trying to make her final stand against the rest of the enemy team. However, not going to be able to. This should be a GG, well played, if they go for core. We do see that the ETC's going... I thought he was about to go and pick up the turret there just to have a little bit extra pressure on the core. But they don't need it. We do see 2 catapults in the top. We see 2 catapults in the bottom, and the rest of the team pushing in. So that's going to be it. GG, well done by Freedonia. What are they going to do to match them in the next game? See if they're going to ban out that Orphea or the ETC, because both of them were definitely very powerful together. Maybe break up one. We'll see. Let's go ahead and have a look at the stats here. We do see at the final tally, we do have Orphea at 75,000 damage. We have Kael'thas at 62,000. Both mages both have top siege damage. 21,000 XP by the Orphea to 15,000 by the Sonya.
Yeah, definitely some huge actual soak from Orphea. As I called out, she's one of those heroes that can just straight up win the fights for you. she did have some amazing setups. Honestly, both teams fought really well. It just came down to kind of the macro pressure, I think, which put Phoenix Rising's back against the wall, and then Freedonia was finally able to close it out.
Yeah, I would like to point out that the Rhaegar did very well, considering they were always down levels, and there seems like they were down levels, desperately trying to keep up. But he was able to keep up with the healing of the Anduin, who was at 67,000 to Rhaegar's 60,000. But the big tail to take here is 22 kills to 16. Looks like there's a couple 5-man team wipes there that made it so it was an uphill battle almost the entire way. But
absolutely.
We'll go ahead and take a quick break while the next lobby is being formed. We'll see who's going to pick up and how the Phoenix Rising is going to respond.
We live in a vast and beautiful world. If we don't fight for it, who will? Come on, Snowball. It's time to get started.
Mei Ling Zhao is a world-renowned climatologist who was forced to enter cryostasis when a massive ice storm struck her Antarctic research station. She awoke 9 years later as the only survivor of her team. Ever optimistic and determined to fight for a better future, Mei became one of the first agents to answer the call and rejoin Overwatch. Having discovered the Nexus, Mei now battles to protect her friends from bullies of all species and origins. Mei is a hardy tank who deploys climate manipulation technology to slow and disrupt her opponents. Durable and mobile, with frigid crowd control abilities, Mei is as comfortable diving into the enemy's back line as she is protecting her own team. Mei's first ability, Snowblind, flings a snowball that damages, slows, and blinds all enemies in the impact area.
I hate bullies.
With Blizzard, Mei calls on her robotic companion Snowball to generate a fierce snowstorm that damages and slows enemies in a target area.
Great work, Snowball.
When Blizzard ends, enemies in the area of effect are stunned and take an additional burst of damage. Mei's icing ability coats her boots in frost, allowing her to skate across the battleground at high speed. When icing ends, frost explodes outward, knocking back, slowing, and damaging nearby enemies. Mei's activatable trait Cryo Freeze encases her in ice, restoring health, granting shields, and making her unstoppable for the duration. Perfect for surviving any onslaught.
Cold as ice.
Mei's first heroic ability, Avalanche, creates a massive snowball that rumbles across the battleground, consuming every enemy hero it touches. The ball explodes at the end of its path, dealing damage and stunning any heroes trapped inside. Mei's second heroic ability, Ice Wall, raises a towering wall that blocks movement and traps any enemies unlucky enough to find themselves inside. After a short duration, the wall explodes, slowing all affected enemies.
Got you. Yay!
Bundle up, heroes. There's a polar storm entering the Nexus, and her name is Mei. Her combination of high mobility, crowd control skill shots, and blockbuster heroic abilities make her a breath of fresh Antarctic air. Mei might just be the coolest hero yet.
And we're back. Looks like Phoenix Rising has chosen Infernal Shrines for our second map. We're going to see what they are going to do to counter the Freedonia's pretty, I wouldn't say pretty dominant. It was back and forth. There was a couple really good team fights there, but they did have a pretty good victory in the for Hanamura. What are you looking for here from Phoenix Rising?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Hanamura is one of the newer maps that are gonna catch people off guard in terms of macro and everything like that. Shrines has been around forever, probably the most popular map. You're gonna look for large macro plays on the siege camp, or the bruiser camp rather, and some really good shrine clear is what I'd like to see.
Yeah, definitely the wave clear is going to be very paramount here. Would like to, as you said, you would like to see a lot of shrine clear. We do know that Phoenix Rising has played Kael'thas and was able to clear that out very quickly. So Might see a Kael'thas once again. Gul'dan's also very good on this map. We'll see what we're going to be picking up here. Looks like the two teams are just getting ready here. I would like to see a little more emphasis on the soul lane as well. Double soak, definitely very key here. If you win or lose an objective, double soaking is definitely something that we should be looking for.
Yeah, we'll see if they go for those CC heavy comps, because they were able to pull them off quite nicely. Harder to pull off with the shrine minions with something like a grab lapse. Impossible. But both teams really followed up well off the tank CC.
Yes. Alright, so since it's Phoenix Rising's choice, we do see Freedonia getting the first ban. They did ban out Tastar, Brightwing, and Leo last time, so let's see if they're going to match those or they're going to go with a new ban. They do go with a Brightwing once again, so it makes me think that that is a very targeted ban.
Yep. Brightwing is not a ban you see often, but it seems like they must have a great Brightwing player. Guess it makes sense in terms of the AoE heals around the shrine, and maybe some of that macro pressure we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Does look like, so last time they did ban out Johanna. Looks like they're banning out Sylvanas this time. Sylvanas, very good map for her. If you win the objective, you get to push with it and turn off the towers and all that. So decent ban there by Phoenix. And that's the Tastar ban. Basically the exact same two bans, just reverse order from the last match. So either they do not like Tastar or it's targeted.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned, the first map, just fantastic, kind of wave clear, tight corners, and you're seeing that Joe come out again. This is probably one of her better maps.
Exactly. So far, bans have not changed due to map, although, except for, the Li-Ming, instead of them banning out Li-Ming, they banned out Sylvanas. So, very map-specific bans so far. And an Anduin being picked up at the beginning here. We did see the Anduin used on Hanamura Temple. Very good pulls, good healing, and some very key light bombs there.
Yeah, absolutely. He had some really good pulls. They seemed comfortable, obviously, playing around it. And he's one of those healers that is pretty hard to punish when picked early.
Malthael being picked up early.
Yeah, interesting. It does counter the Garrosh, so maybe they were kind of scared of that. Garrosh, I love on this map just because he doesn't throw the shrine monkeys when he's in amongst them, so he's actually really great at isolating picks.
For the Nexus.
Interesting. Xenozak was their ETC player from the first map. So is this going to be a Blaze main tank, and Duke picking up his Orphea once again?
Spicy. Love to see some spice. Blaze main tank. You know, I wish I could run it. My team never lets me.
Well, he may indeed go over to the soul lane, but ETC is still up, so it's interesting that they chose Blaze over ETC here, even though they had a dominant performance in the first match.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Orphea got through. I found that she really caused them a lot of problems.
Well, a little bit of respect ban there onto the Rhaegar. They found that they were a little hesitant going into the Rhaegar, so they go ahead and ban that out, forcing their healer to be on a different, or Johnny D. Clown to be on a different healer this map.
I stand ready.
Vala being picked up again by Yahtzee. She was able to get a lot of damage out there, but was picked off a little bit as well. And a Stukov being picked up by Johnny D. Clown. Maybe a Garrosh toss into Stukov silence and a Vala stun. Could be a pretty good combo.
Yeah, I'd love to see another piece of CC come out. Now Sparhawk was the Kael'thas in the last game. Interested to see what he's gonna play. Kael'thas still out there.
Hell, it's about damn time.
Okay, that is a double support comp. Simslayer was playing the Greymane last match. Now he's playing the Karazim. So that's that percentage base damage I think they're looking for on the Garrosh with the 7-sided.
Yeah, and not to mention Tychus, of course. Hate seeing that guy when you're Garrosh. We'll be interested to see if Malthael goes the talent where you can negate healing. And Zarya, some more spice. This is good. Liking this strap so far.
All right, who are you going to give the draft victory to at this moment?
I'm gonna hand it to Freedonia. It's a little more unconventional, which I'm liking right now. And both teams actually have really great sustain, but I think it'll be hard for them to get their isolation pick with the double healer, especially with the Anduin pull.
I'm going to give it over to Phoenix Rising. The reason for this is because I like the idea of the Garrosh going into the Stukov. I do like that combo, especially if they can get a throw and push. I think it'd be actually a very good combo. And, you know, I like to see a Zarya win every once in a while. It's nice to see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if she goes the speed bubble on 4. That's always handy.
That is a great point. The speed bubble onto the Garrosh does make him quite a nuisance, especially if you can get a flip on stun lock onto, let's say, the Tychus, or even better yet, the Anduin. That would be something that is definitely very, very impressive if they can pull that off. However, they still have to get through that percentage damage of Tychus and Karazim. He has to walk through that to get there. Be interesting to see if he'll be able to live through all that, and if the Stukov can keep him alive.
Are we potato racing? Let's find out.
It does look like everyone's almost loaded in. Simslayer is slightly behind once again. It didn't seem like it affected him in the first game. He was able to get those go for throat resets and all that good stuff. So I'm assuming that everything's gonna be fantastic. Just loading up here, and it is Simslayer. Gotta get
Throw
it.
your favorite potato recipes in the chat, guys.
All right,
Potatoes out.
we are gonna go ahead and start off with Freedonia. We have Draven on the Anduin, Duke on the Orphea, Xenozak onto the Blaze, Korsakov onto the Tychus, and then finally Simslayer in the Soul lane as Karazim.
We got Gunslinger on the Garrosh, Sparhawk playing the Zarya, Yahtzee on Vala, Johnny the Clown on Stukov, and in the solo, Bloody Drapes on the Malthael.
Let's go ahead and look at our level 1 talents here. We do see the stacking Q talent on Zarya for Demolition Expert, and the Warbreaker for Garrosh. Over onto the Freedonia, pretty standard. We just use the Iron Fist there by Karazim, so he's going to be going with the damage Karazim, and Dash by the Tychus.
Now, noticing Vala not going for the Caltrops build here. I wonder if we'll see the W build, which is a bit more conventional, give him a bit more try and clear.
We do see the Garrosh taking quite low there by that Tychus. Both lanes have been cleared and the rotation to the bottom lane has started. Looks like Freedonia is going to stay here in the mid lane just to catch this because it was right there. So might put them a little bit above on the soak because Blaze was here to catch all the soak that he needs. In the top lane, we do see Simslayer bullying the Malthael. Malthael might have to tap here if he wants to stay in here and make sure he gets that soak. We do see Freedonia going ahead and taking their camp while Phoenix Rising Amethyst is taking the middle lane. So they are going to be slightly behind on the camp clear, and they are still slightly behind on soak. A little bit of damage there onto the Zarya shields to get her that damage. Nice cleanse there by the garage, but still was not quite able to make it out. And that's First Blood once again going over to Freedonia, and they have almost a half-level lead.
Yeah, again, it seems like Freedonia is just a bit quicker to the camps, which are putting some of that macro pressure we saw in Game 1 back onto PRA.
We do see here that the with their advantage, the Freedonia is going to be taking this bottom Mitra Kaiser camp. Very impressive there. We do see Garrosh in the middle lane trying to clear up this this camp as best he can. So this is almost a free camp for Freedonia, and the objective has been called. Let's see if either team goes and takes their Fallen Shaman camps, as those are very important, gives a lot of map pressure, especially when the objective is in the bottom lane, but it doesn't look like they are rotating very quickly and might have to give it up. Does look like they're now just going to be clearing out the bottom camp, Freedonia clearing up the mid camp, and both teams are going to be setting up for this objective. Karazim is staying in the top lane while Malthael is coming bottom. So there's going to be a 5v4 for a quick second. And Garrosh gets taken down. That was very quick. That's that percentage damage that we were talking about at the draft. That Tyke is just going right in on him and being able to take him out. That is a good E dash into the Phoenix Rising. However, he is now out of mana, and the rest of the team is a little low, especially with the double healers. So they're backing away, giving more Shrine Clear to Phoenix Rising. Even though they have 4 and Freedonia does have 5, they are winning on the Shrines. They're at 38, just needing 2 more to capture this first objective. Are they going to be able to do it? They do, and that was Karazim being tossed, but being life gripped out by Anduin. Immediately, I do like to see this rotation there by Malthael to go and get that mid soak. Hopefully, there's going to be double soaking mid tops, get them that XP advantage and pushing in. It does look like the Punisher is pushing in on the bottom lane. Gonna be going ahead and taking out. Oh, Anduin being taken out by that Punisher. Right away, that Mortar Punisher, those circle damage does do a lot more than they used to.
I am back.
Excellent. You didn't miss much except for the Phoenix Rising took an entire fort off the first objective. Anduin was taken out, and we do now see that the Freedonia still has a slight XP advantage. However, they were able to catch up a lot with the Malthael double soaking.
Fantastic. It seems like they're moving now to their bruiser camps.
Yep.
A little pressure top. The objective is top, so it's not so big a deal to take it now. And then they actually might be able to rotate and put pressure on these other lands.
Looks like they were looking to get a slight pick onto the Karazim. However, Zarya does not bring any kind of CC until her level 10, so weren't able to do that. With the rotation to top, we do see Freedonia going and taking the Phoenix Rising's camp right out of from their noses, as they did see 2 top. Well done. Good macro play there by Freedonia.
Yeah, really good. Honestly, I think that wave clear advantage is kind of paying off in these rotations they're able to pull off, but they're not obviously able to secure that first protector. We'll see, or Punisher rather, we'll see how this camp invade goes.
Oh, that is the silence out onto the Blaze. He was about to try to throw his E in there to get that stun, but just hit the edge of that silencing pool. Barely able to get out, though, with the light grip of Anduin. So that is Phoenix Rising stealing that camp away. There's that speed barrier that we were talking about. There's that silence. That's a dead Orphea. Nice CC train. That's what we were talking about at the draft. Looks like they practiced it. Looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, that was pretty slick. I think it's catching them off guard, honestly, the speed in which Garrosh is getting those engages. We'll see if they adapt to it, but Blaze without the Pyromania is also going to be really susceptible to this moving forward.
Level 10s have been achieved by both teams. It's the Internal Feast by Orphea, the Light Bomb. We do have Combustion by Blaze, and we have the Dragon Laser Drill, and then the 7-sided Strike by Karazim. Over on to Phoenix Rising. We do have Warlord's Challenge. We do have Graviton Surge, the Last Rites, Reign of Vengeance, and then the Flailing Swipe.
Looks like Freedonia is able to get their camp out without any problems. They are a little split here. We'll see if Garrosh can get the isolation.
Look at that Orphea. She's kind of going in first one there. You don't want to see that. However, not being punished just yet. And now we do see that the Tychus has now arrived, and it's a 5v5. We do have Garrosh positioning down here in the bottom left, trying to get that flip onto anyone. He does get it onto the Tychus. Tychus does get pulled out. That is a good Warlord's Challenge. Barely makes it out. Has 100 health.
Ooh, last right.
Last Rites was used, but did not get the stack, I don't believe. No, he did manage to get the stack right there at the end.
Yeah, Vala just finished it off. Garrosh escaping with like 2 HP.
Oh, and that is another
nice
throw.
toss.
Look at that stun, though. Light Bomb right there to keep her alive. The laser is now down. We do have 20 of the Shrine Guardians to 16. It is a 4v4, and we have both tanks down, but Blaze is now rejoining. We do see a little bit of pressure mounting there in the bottom lane by Phoenix Rising, but it's still early on. They don't need to respond to that. They do need to worry about this objective. Combustion coming out.
Big Blaze engage.
Does he get separated from his team, though? Oh, that is the Malthael going down. We do have the Zarya out there by herself. No one else. And that is the Eternal Feast being used, zoning out the rest of the team. Garrosh using the friendly toss to save that Stukov. And now we do have Vala rotating, clearing out that mid lane, and now might be taking the bottom camp while this top objective is pushing. It's all 5 members pushing down with this top objective. That's Frozen Punisher turning off the tower itself. So basically a makeshift Sylvanas, if you would. And gonna be now pushing in onto the keep, and that is a still very healthy Punisher.
Yeah, would have liked to see Vala stay up here for the clear. She provides the most Punisher clear. His camp are largely unimpactful unless they're pushing for quite some time, and Malthael actually might get caught out here as he's trying to do a cheeky camp steal.
But he is able to sniff out that they are coming for him, so he runs away. Does he make it? Oh, the Anduin barely missing the roots there. Was able to make it out. It is a 4v1 right now. However, Garrosh is right over, just having a look here. The rest of the team is a little bit behind. Level 13 is now achieved by both teams. We do see Quicksilver by the Karazim, Spray and Pray, and Enchanted Boots. So this is gives 5% movement speed, and this bonus is quadrupled while Leap of Faith cooldown is available. So 20% movement speed by the Anduin if he's not mounted, as long as he has the Leap of Faith up. So a little bit extra movement speed.
For the Garrosh?
Could be. It could be a way to try to avoid that Garrosh throw, although he has only gone after the Orphea, so interesting. That is the Blaze, and there's the Silence. That is a 7-sided strike going out as well, and that Anduin Light Bomb saving the Blaze a little bit. We did see the Stukov using his disengage there, managing to walk away. Everyone is still relatively healthy. Vala getting caught out a little bit, might be taken out. Nope, not quite. There's an auto attack or Q missed by the Orphea. Good silence there by the Stukov, making sure that the Freedonia wasn't able to push in too much onto that low health Vala.
Yeah, this is one of the problem with these pick comps is sometimes teams really rely on getting the perfect pick, and that can kind of stress the team fights. I want to see him go after one of the squishier members rather than the Blaze. But we'll see if he can get that Orphea, which he's gotten a couple times.
That is the Unstoppable used by both the Garrosh and the Zarya to try to get out there, make sure they don't get caught out. The Freedonia did use take their Shaman camp a little bit early, so this is a free clear by Phoenix Rising. Now the objective has been called, and it looks like they're trying to get a free push here in the top lane. But while they're doing that, it's going to be a fort trade. This is going to be favoring Freedonia, as the objective is going to be mid lane. That means that Phoenix Rising doesn't have a fort to fall back to, whereas Freedonia still does. No well, but they still have a fort to fall back to. With the double healer, they don't really need a well except for mana.
Yeah.
But they can just back away and heal up very, very easily. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's see what kind of shrine clear they're concentrating on. Garrosh getting stunned, solo stunned by the Blaze. That is a eternal feast down where essentially no one was, but trying to cut off that Garrosh. Garrosh going right in and running into everyone with no support and gets immediately wrecked. Good disengage there by the Stukov. And that is the last rites done by the Malthael, getting that Tychus. 7-sided strike going out on to 2 members of Phoenix Rising. The Zarya walking through that, trying to absorb a couple more shots. Is able to get out, but that's 32 Shrine Minions to 13. This is definitely going to go over to Freedonia. Let's see if they're able to get a good defense. Now it's going to go right into the keep, as they were able to clear up that fort. And while this is going on, Vala is trying to take this bottom camp. They do have...
Yeah, she split off again. I just want to highlight some more cheekiness from this Malthael. He was able to get that isolation kill on the Tychus, which is really going to help negate some of this push.
We do see Garrosh baiting over the Puncher, bringing him up to the top lane, while the rest of the team and the Vala is here to clear it out. While that was going on, since the Tychus was down, it looks like Freedonia opted to clear out the bottom fort and now put pressure in the bottom fort. Looks like Phoenix Rising is a little slow to react, so they are going to lose this fort, thus taking away their only advantage on the map at this time.
So where do they go? Where do they go from here, do you think? How do they pivot? Some of these fights aren't breaking their way.
I would like to see them go ahead and push in the top lane. They do have a little bit of advantage there. Right now, their main concern is that they have 2 out of the 3 lanes being pushed, so they should try to even that up. And perhaps their entire comp is reliant on that pick. And right now, the Garrosh not deciding to try to get a pick there on the Blaze. I know we mentioned that I'd like to see it on more of the squishier ones, but when sometimes you just have to throw the first person see. That was a great disengage there by the Stukov. That was the combustion and light bomb by Blaze and Anduin, and he was able to use his flailing swipe and disengage there. So that was 2 ults for 1. But right now they should be aggressive and looking for any kind of fight. That is the Blaze once again being taken out by that percentage damage. Zarya being taken out right behind it. Now it's only 3 remaining. We do see that the Malthael might be taken out. They are breaking off, trying to go after him. Looks like Johnny D. Clown is exiting stage right, and it looks like the Vala is able to get as well. So everyone was able to live. But is Vala going to be cut out? No, they're going to go ahead and put pressure onto this keep. The next objective is in the top lane, and we do have Karazim trying to take the Bruiser camp. So are they going to be able to take down this keep? It is a 3v4 with keep, and they are going to be able to keep it alive. It is going to be just below half health though, so prime for the picking later on in the game.
Yeah, that's a win though, to be able to survive. Get another fight pre-20 here.
Oh! Almost. The Garrosh is about to be taken out once again. That percentage damage is just doing him no favors. Let's have a look at our level 16 talents. Looks like... yeah, Wave the 100 Fists. Bond of Anguish. So that's another percentage damage from the Orphea onto that Garrosh. Basically, his armor is doing him no favors at this moment, and he decided to go with Seasoned Soldier. So gain 5% of health, increase Groundbreaker slow duration by 1 second, and Bloodless gains an additional charge.
I think he has to think about changing the angle of approach here. He's coming head on. He's running into that CC train. If he tries to flank, which he's done a couple times, he's been able to get some of those squishier heroes.
Phoenix Rising is desperately trying to get to level 20 before this next objective. If they lose this objective, they might still be able to survive a little bit longer if they don't get any picks. But we'll see how the Bubbly's going a little bit too far for my liking, especially with Blaze. But we can see in the bush they're ready to pounce. Zarya's down here in the bottom lane trying to catch that soak. And looks like the Garrosh and Vala are going to help.
Yeah, I just want to compliment the Blaze here on his use of vision, anchoring this bush and making sure his team knows. Should the other team try to do anything other than the standard Stoke 20, they were going to know about it.
Looks like the Garrosh is returning back. Malthael is trying to capture this camp to push down the middle lane. They're not going to be able to get level 20. However, that did not stop them from winning the fight on Hanamor Temple. Let's see if they're able to do that once again. This time, they do have a Punisher to deal with.
Big Graviton here, stalling things out while they're clearing.
Yep.
It's about half health.
Half health on that Punisher. And the keep that they softened up earlier stood no chance. All teams are still up and healthy. The disengage by that Stukov once again doing wonders. The Vala a little bit too far out for my liking and gets taken out, followed immediately by that Blaze. That's a 7-side strike. That's a 70% left on the core. Punisher is still up. This should be a GG. Looks like Sparhawk is kind of sitting back, letting it go. That is a GG. That's a 2-0 domination victory by Freedonia. Let's have a look at the stats here. Looks like the top damage once again is Orphea at 54,000 damage. Top soak once again at 14,952. 102,923 in siege damage. The Malthael has 105,000, 15,000 XP. So once again, it looks like the Orphea was the crux to the Phoenix Rising. Surprising that they didn't actually go for the ban on the Orphea. Something to be thinking about going into the next games. Let's reach out to our winners here and see if they want to have an interview. Just reaching out right now. Very impressed by both teams. It is a 2-0 domination. However, Phoenix Rising did have some really good team fights there. Had a lot of good engages.
Yeah, and they had those, like I said, down tiers, down heroics. They won fights. There's a lot of good bones to some of the stuff they were doing with some cleaning up. I think they could really be dominant.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and go into lobby 1 of NGS to go for an interview with Simpslayer. Simslayer, welcome, and congratulations on your 2-0 domination victory.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your first map here on Hanamura Temple. You guys had a very strong ETC Orphea combo. Were able to get a couple 5-man moshes with the Eternal Feast. How did that feel? How were the comms when you guys were getting those big combos?
Usually it's everyone screaming at each other, but now with Gladiator Medallion, kind of mixes stuff up a bit. So it's more like we're saying who we should prioritize, depending on like Gladiator Medallion cooldowns and all that, which is something that we're all working on as a team, is keeping track of those cooldowns. So when we get those 5-man moshes, we're typically just saying, oh, focus this person because they can't unstoppable it.
Excellent. I did notice that with your bans for both maps, you didn't like Tassar, you don't like Brightwing. What's up with that? Brightwing's Bay.
Polymorph is annoying though.
This is true. I'll give you that one. So you guys.
Polymorph is annoying, and then also just the global phase shift as well. Just like a quick rotation can
Excellent.
Change laning.
We did notice that you guys were focusing a lot on your vision camps and your samurai camps in Hanamura Temple. Is that something you guys practice? Is that something you guys communicate, or is it something that you just know to do because of Storm Lake?
It's something we've been practicing because definitely earlier on, like last season, camp timer, we were never on top of our camp timers, so that's just something we're all working on, is doing camps consistently and keeping track of their cooldown and doing them when they come up.
Yeah, I think that really led to you guys putting a lot of macro pressure and forcing, slower rotations and giving you, especially in the second map, I know I'm jumping again, the ability to get some of that XP lead and put more pressure on their map. So I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, we're all comfortable with the characters we play, so now we're just working on like macroing maps.
Excellent.
And I guess so far it seems to be working.
Speaking about the second map, you banned out Brightwing, you banned out Tassar again, and this time your third ban you banned out Rhaegar. Was that something that you saw in the first map because Johnny D Clown did pick up the Rhaegar? Something you wanted to avoid, or was that just good on the map so you just want to get rid of it?
It was good on the map. We just want to get rid of it. Popping Bloodlust, really helps the minion clear. So we just wanted to take that away from them, especially seeing that they drafted like a really tanky team. So I feel like the Bloodlust would have helped out with the clear and maybe changed it.
Excellent. Now let's talk about your double healer comp that you picked up here. What was the comms like? Why did you guys decide that? Is that something you guys practice? Is that something you guys were like, hey, they chose Garrosh, let's go for more percentage-based damage. I can play Karazim. Sounds good. Let's do it.
It was more of a comfort pit actually because I'm flex, so I mainly switch between healer, DPS, and offlane. Like game 1 I played Greymane with the 4-man, and then game 2 I offlane Karazim. For me, it's just a comfort pick, especially since the 2 bruisers I mainly play are banned right now. Because I was a Diva and Gazlo main before their rework.
Oh wow, you're the rare pre-rework Gazlo and Diva main.
Yeah.
Just don't like storm points, eh? Is that it?
But mainly Karazim. I don't know. But Karazim was really I love playing offlane Karazim. He's a blast to play, and I just
Yeah. You did surprisingly well. I was really curious to see that matchup. Because I don't think I've ever seen a Meltdale into a Karazim, but it seemed like you were able to really damage him.
Because I know game 1 we had a Dark on our team, and we subbed him out game 2, but he's like a Mal main, so he was telling us, hey, Mal's weak to high mobility and ranged. So, and I picked high mobility, but I did not pick range. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna stand and wave and just get half health.
One of 2 ain't bad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so from the shrines, you were able to get a couple of. You lost the first Punisher, but then you're able to get all the Punishers henceforth. You did a couple of trades where you trade out the mid, or you trade out your top for their mid fort. Was that something that you guys were discussing while it was happening? Like, this was a good trade, just don't worry about it, it's going through, or is it just like, well, we might as well get something?
It was just let it happen. Don't worry. We're going through with it.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys definitely had a lot of macro pressure. You had that game almost completely in tow from the very beginning. Looks like you guys really countered them in draft. That Garrosh just did not have a good time. Anything else you want to add there, Broom Boy?
Now, I saw that the other team banned Joe twice against you all. Do you think that was a targeted ban against you, or is that, something to do with the maps? Because that to me struck me as interesting.
Our tank players, like he can play Johanna, but it's not like something that we've been playing a lot of. So
Okay.
I guess it might have been just like a, general. We don't want to fight this.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, and last thing I wanted to do is just talk to you guys. I know you said you had previously been kind of a team that screamed all the time, which I can relate to. How are you guys calling out your micro plays? Because to me, it seemed like you had some really good follow up on the tank engages. You had solid, team fights where you're not overlapping CC. Is that something deliberately you guys call out, or what's the thought process there?
Yeah, we our Anduin player typically shouts, "Light bomb is on you, go!" And like 9 out of 10 times it's on Blaze. So that that's just like the keyword for Blaze to go combustion in.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Well, now we're going to flip this floor over to you. Do you have any shout-outs you want to do before I let you go for today?
Today's Korsakov's birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy
birthday.
birthday. All right. Is that everything? Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the wonderful games. You guys did it very well. Look forward to seeing you in the rest of the season. I believe you're undefeated right now. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
We're
good.
also undefeated on Hanamura, which is also a win for us.
Excellent. Well done. Look forward to seeing you, and good luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that will do it for us today. Thank you very much, Broom Boy, for joining me on this journey.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, and thank you everyone for watching. You guys have a great evening, and hopefully we see you in the Nexus.